Hey guys, how's it going? Well, thought of something yesterday that has been on my mind, and I'll say right off the bat that I'm not going to make any rash decisions. It's a bit of a tongue twister. I thought of getting a different van. I thought of getting a much smaller van, like the Ford Transit Connect. The reason is because, well, there's a couple reasons. Next year, I am going to be in a position where I'm going to have to be doing a lot more driving for work. If I leave my current employer, which is my goal to do, because my current employer doesn't pay any benefits, and I'm going to be 45 in March. I'm not getting any younger, and I kind of need to leave. Even though I'm very comfortable there, I really like to work there. I like the people and everything. There's no benefits and there's no job security. They really like me, but if for some reason something happened, they decided they didn't like me anymore, they could let me go without much problem. They could just not renew my contract. So these things lead me to, the main reason is benefits. I have no retirement at all saved up, and as long as I stay at my current job, I'm not going to get anything. They don't pay anything towards retirement at all. So I need to kind of leave that job, which means I'm going to have to be doing a lot more driving. Because right now I'm in within the 3 or 4 kilometer radius of everything. My kid's house, my employer, everything is all in the same area. So I'm not driving for more than like 10 minutes at a time to get to my destination. And in the future, I'll be driving a lot more if I get a new job. So right now I'm spending probably between $200 to $250 a month in gas, and I'm not driving that much. I'm driving like maybe 400 or 500 kilometers a month. So if I drive a lot more, of course, that means my gas costs are going to go way up. And I really have a hard time imagining paying like $300 to $400 a month for gas. I mean, it's not going to be $300; it's going to be more. That is really, not cool. And the gas prices they're not low here, but they're low for our area, low-ish. Right now it's $1.24 a liter, and a couple years ago it was like $1.40 or $1.42 or something. And I've seen it as high as almost $1.50, which is really expensive. So this makes me think that, there's a couple things I thought about. I could get a different van, like a Transit Connect. Another option I could do is I could buy just like a little beater car, like a $700, Honda Civic or something like that. And instead of spending tons of money on gas on that big van, I could just use a little car and then still have the van to live in, park it in an area and move it every few days. And I thought of that, and it's a consideration. But ultimately, I'm not sure that I like that idea, because $100, I'm spending $100 more. It's going to cost me $100 more in insurance, car insurance, to insure another car, plus all the other maintenance, tires, brakes, oil changes. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So I don't know if that's the right thing to do, because it's going to cost me, plus the outlay of the money in the first place for the car. And also I've come to realize the second major reason I've thought about getting a smaller van, like a Connect, is I really don't use the space in my van. I mean, I would say 70 to 80% of the time, I'm not even in the van till like 7:30 at night, 8 o'clock. And by 10:30, I'm going to sleep. 10:30, 11, I'm going to sleep. So basically, I make my dinner, I might practice my bass a little bit or whatever, and then essentially from then on, I'm just sitting on my bed, surfing the internet or reading or doing whatever. But I don't, I can sit on a bed in the small van just like I could sit on a bed in the big van. The only real thing is standing up to get changed. That is the biggest problem. There's two major problems. Standing up to get changed, which really isn't that big of a deal. I mean, I did it in my my standard cargo van, Ford E150 low top, and it's just a matter of sitting up a bit so you can slide the pants over your butt. It's not a big deal. Putting a shirt on while you're sitting is no big deal. It's mainly just the pants part. Really, it takes like less than 2 seconds. The other major thing is kind of like organization. I see people in small vans that got too much stuff, and they got to move stuff all the time to get the stuff that they want. However, I think I can overcome that by thinking it out and planning it out and being super organized and having everything have a space. So I'm pretty sure I can deal with that. So if I'm just sleeping in the van mostly, kind of getting this big van was kind of an experiment. When my old van was taken by ICBC, if you remember that video, I thought, I'm going to get a high top. And I tried it and experimented with it, and it's been good. I'm not like Justin Incredible. I don't go for a vehicle every year, although it kind of seems like it right now. Because if I do get a new van, that would be like my third van in 3 years. Actually, 2 years. But the other thing is that the Transit Connect, man, that thing is so cheap on gas. I'm reading anywhere between 20 to 22 to 28 miles a gallon. Wow, that's cheap. Now, besides having to drive a lot for work, when I get a new job, not if I get a new job, the other thing is I need to get more active. This is something that I've been thinking about and trying to push myself on, kind of like a personal goal. Is I kind of, I can kind of be a little bit too, isolate myself a bit, because my job is a very social job. I interact with people all day, and I got my kids and playing music with people, and then friends that I have. But I would like to be more active. I would like to have like 3 to 4 nights a week where I'm out and doing something, like a regularly scheduled event, whether it be a Buddhist group or meeting new friends or playing a sport. I need to do that. I think I really need to do that. And by having a small van, because, to be honest, I'm one heck of a cheapo. I don't like to spend money, like on things like gas. So if I think, if I join that, then I'm gonna have to spend like, $15 on gas. I'm much less likely to do it because I'm a cheapo. If I have to drive like 30 kilometers and drop 10 or 15 bucks in gas, or whatever it is, I'm much more likely to do it if gas is not so onerous of an expense. So the Transit Connect is a really cool van. The way they have it set up, the dimensions are virtually perfect. It's like a little bit bigger than a minivan, but smaller than a low top cargo van. So anyway, this is just something I'm thinking about. If I did do it, it wouldn't be for at least a couple months, and I would still keep the van, for this current van I have, for quite a while. And some people will say, oh, is this related to the bug situation because you don't want to have those bugs, so you're just going to sell the van? No, because I would have to get rid of those bugs anyway, because I'm going to be in this van for months and months and months. If, say, next week I bought a new van, well, guess what? I can't just move in. It's not finished. I would have to spend quite a bit of time to build it up a bit. So I'm just pulling into Whole Foods here to get my veggie burrito. Actually, I gotta go to Home Depot first. I'm going the wrong way. So another part of this is that I was very, what's the word? Invested in a major build in this current van. Wanted to do the tongue and groove pine, and that was quite a time investment. My next van, I wouldn't do that. I would just buy a sheet of plywood and, you know, cover the part of the wall that I need to, or whatever, and then just put polyurethane over it. Done. Not spend hours and hours and hours and hours on stuff, and make it a lot more simple of a build. And that would considerably reduce the investment of time. So I'm thinking about it. You know, in this van, there is a lot of unused space that I simply don't use. In a small van, I would have to use almost all the space. Like I would build the opposite wall of the bed. Of course, I'd have to have that bed along the side. Would be maybe 8 to 10 inches in depth, and then I would just build like cabinets, or not drawers. I don't think I'd just do cabinets, basically full floor to ceiling. But I don't really have that much stuff. I mean, I got like maybe one medium-sized backpack full of clothes. I got one milk crate full of tools. I have food, which basically I can fit in like 1 or 2 milk crates at the most. Probably even, one or two. And that's about it. You know, I got my music here. I got a bass guitar and my bass amp and stuff. But, you know, I can make allowances for that under the bed or something. It is really stormy out here today. Got some kind of windstorm. So I'm confident that I could get all those things in there. And of course, I would need, for me to go ahead and do this, I would have to, like, oh, this guy dropped his hat around. I would have to have, I want to have my propane tank. I want to have a spot for my toilet bucket thing. And I'd want to have my cooler and things like that. I would want to have space for those things. And if it looks like there's just no way I can do it, then that idea of a smaller van would be a lot less attractive. Anyway, I'm just thinking about it. I'm in the thinking about it phase. I'm kind of a planner. I think about things a lot before I do it, and I want to make sure I'm not just rushing into something all willy-nilly without giving it a lot of thought, because who knows, maybe I'll say, you know, that's just a silly idea for these reasons. But financially, I think it would be a good idea. Another part of this too is that, you know, I was thinking about buying like a Ford Transit in about 10 years and spending a crap load of money, like 20 grand. I just have a hard time spending that kind of money on a vehicle. I just don't know if I can. It just seems like so much money. And I don't have to do that, of course. But it just seems less attractive the more I think about it. So I could buy like a 2012, 2011 or whatever. I'm talking about one of the older Transits, not the new ones, one of the older Transits. I could buy one of those probably for about 10 grand. Keep in mind, this is in Canada, so everything's more expensive. And that would be that would be a lot less. It wouldn't be as much of a financial commitment. Keep in mind, I think I mentioned in another video, the current contract that I'm in, I'm getting a huge amount of money this year, more. So I've got like basically a pay increase of $10,000 over the year, and I already have a substantial amount of money in the bank. So it's not like I can't afford it. It's just a matter of, is it a good idea? Let me know in the comment section below if you care to. By the way, some of you are probably curious about what's going on with the bed bugs. I still got them. The freaking heat didn't work. Either it was cool on the floor, cold enough on the floor that they survived, or they went behind the wall or something, but I killed about 6 of them about 2 days ago. Last night there wasn't any on the where they usually are, so they're still there. So my whole reason to go to Home Depot is to get this stuff right here. Can you read it? Bed bug killer. Is designed to take advantage of mineral deposits of diatoms which have been found useful in reducing crawling insect pest populations in and around the private home or apartment. The patent manufacturing process of this product contains 2 food-grade additives, of which one attracts a crawling insect while the other is a digestive ingredient. When applied directly, crawling insects are usually killed within 48 hours from the cutting action. So in other words, it attracts them and then they eat it and it kills them as well from like a cutting action. So I'm going to put that stuff on the wall tonight. Let's see how it goes. Anyways, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Just some thoughts. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not, but I'm thinking about it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good night.